welcome back. So today's tutorial is on this look. It's just a chit-chatty walkthrough. Well, I'm not chit-chatting, it's actually a voiceover. I am visiting my family because I have the week off and I am super excited. That's a little H for I broke one, by the way. I was setting things up and that back there, I broke it. So I owe my mom a new one. Yep. So anyway, the tutorial is on this look. It is using the new Mary Kay spring palette. Everything is from Mary Kay. All the eyes, the lips, everything else is Mary Kay also. So it is just a brand exclusive tutorial. I had a lot of requests for it, so I hope you guys enjoy it and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Okay guys, the first thing I'm doing is curling my eyelashes. I just wanted to. It's a Tarte eyelash curler. It came in a set thingy that I got. But I just felt like curling my eyelashes, so I did that and gave you a little dance. Next, I'm just going to put some primer on my eyes. I am not using a regular primer. I am using the NYX glitter primer just because these shadows are very soft and shimmery, so I wanted to really make sure that that pigment stuck to my eyes. And here's the beautiful palette. I love those colors. They're so beautiful together. We're going to take that light pink color first, and we're just going to take a nice flat Zoeva brush. It's like a shader brush or something, but it's pretty flat. It's not very tapered. And I'm just packing that all over the lid. Really working it in, not going above the crease, working it into the crease just to create a nice shimmery pink base for the other colors that we're going to layer on top of this. Next, I'm going to take a really fluffy blending brush and take that kind of taupey gray color, and I am going to work that color all into the crease very softly. That's why I chose such a large fluffy brush, was to really make sure that the color was there but it diffused and wasn't anything too harsh or dark. I didn't want to make my eye socket look super dark or anything like that. The key is just to blend really well. Next, I'm taking that flat kind of definer brush and just taking a little bit of that taupey gray color and putting it into the crease just to give a little bit more definition, because that fluffy brush was really fluffy. Created a very diffused look. Then we're taking the darker color and just packing that into the outer corner of the eye, working it into the crease a little, kind of making a V shape, but nothing too dark, keeping it very light-handed. This is a pointed Zoeva brush. It's a nice crease brush, that's what it is. But just really blending it in, keeping everything nice and soft. Again, very diffused look, so everything's just kind of meshed together. You can see the different colors, but I don't want anything to be too harsh. I don't want it to be too dark or smoky. Just keeping it really nice and light-handed. But you can definitely see the gradient difference between that light pink on the inner corner, and then the darker color on the outside. Now we're going to take that darker color that we just used, and I'm taking a stiff flat brush and just running that all along the bottom lash line to kind of mimic liner, really. I didn't want to use any liner, but I just took that color and I'm putting it from the outer corner all the way to the inner corner. And I'm taking the purple also, mixing them together. So I used that darker kind of charcoaly color first, then I'm taking that really vibrant purple and layering that on top and just really making sure that that's on the lash line. I'm just taking a fluffy brush and making sure that that color is diffused well, blended in very nicely. This pink color, I decided to just take my finger and pat a little bit onto the middle of my eye so that I had a nice pop of color and had, covered up that pink too much with the two darker colors that we were using earlier. Now I'm priming my face. I did my eyes first because this shadow is very soft and there can be a lot of fallout, and because some of the colors were darker, I didn't want that to fall on my foundation. So I'm using the Mary Kay Matte Wear Foundation in Beige 5. I've definitely gone up in shades. I think I used to be a 7. Now I'm a 5. I avoid the sun like the plague. And I'm just spotting that all over my face. And then I'm going to take my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, I believe. Yeah, right there. And I am just going to pat that all over the face. I love the way this sponge just makes everything sit so nice and clean on the face. Leaves you hydrated when you're oily, but it doesn't leave you greasy or anything. It's just that nice infusion of water into the foundation. Feels so good. Now I'm taking some Sephora Gel concealer. Oh my goodness, tongue-tied. And just patting that in, putting that under my eyes, side of my nose, and on my chin. Just cover up some redness I've got. I like this concealer because it's just nice and thin and it's a brightener. It's not covering anything up at all. It doesn't cover dark circles, but it just brightens it a little. Now I'm doing my brows with the Anastasia Dip Brow. Didn't need to really see how that's done, but they're just filled in, and I did a little brow dance for you. Now I'm going to take the Miracle Complexion Sponge again, and I am taking powder just to bake my under eye, set that really well. I believe this is the translucent powder that I'm just putting onto the sponge and under. I like using the sponge so much better than a brush to put that on because the sponge really sets the product down and you can press it into your skin versus a brush that just kind of sweeps it across your face. Next, I'm doing mascara. I actually lost my Mary Kay mascara and I didn't have any extras with me. So this was just something random that I had. I think it came in a glossy box. It's okay. It's not terrible, but definitely love my Mary Kay Lash Love Lengthening so much more. You heard the door squeak. That's my poor puppy having to go outside. She has to go potty. Now I'm putting on the bottom lash line too. Next is cheeks, and this is Juicy Guava. It is like my favorite cheek color ever out of any brand, anybody. So beautiful, so pretty. It just reminds me of the beach and the tropics, and I feel like it makes you instantly look fresher and brighter. And I wanted to keep the rest of my face nice and bright, so because my eyes were, smokier and darker. I kind of give myself a fake smile, to kind of see where I want my blush to sit. And I don't just put blush on the apples of my cheeks. I put it on the apples and then I blend backward. That's just the way my face shape works. But you know how your face shape works. So wherever your blush is, do it. And I use the highlighter that came with the Juicy Guava. I love that these cheek colors have a highlighter combo with them. They're super, super easy to use. And I'm just taking a Real Techniques brush that I like because it's a nice tapered head and putting that all over the high points of my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, a little on my cupid's bow, the tip of my nose, and I even put a little on my brow bone just to highlight it slightly. I have an itchy nose apparently. Moving on to the lips, I'm just using the lip colors. I actually use the pinker, like that bright pink cherry color, and I'm just applying that with my fingers. There's a little lip brush that came with this. I didn't have it with me at the time. It's a beautiful gloss. It gives a nice sheer wash of color. I think it actually has a lot of color. It's not super, super sheer. It creates a nice color. And then I'm just taking a brush, dusting off that powder that I set my bake with so that, everything would set nice and easy. And that is it. This is the finished look, guys. Hope you enjoyed.